Yeah. Good, thank you. That's what's good. Let's do a volume check, guys. If you guys can hear me, send me a 1 in the chat. Send me a 1 in the chat. Coffee talk this morning. If you guys can hear me, send me a 1 in the chat, guys. Send me a 1 in the chat. My man Black Mon said he can hear me. That's wonderful. I appreciate you, Black Mon. I appreciate you, brother. What's up? I say, what's up? I say, what's up? Yo, we are back in the house. Let me do that again. What's up? I say, what's up? I say, what's up? What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here, founder and CEO of Black Heights, where we train, coach, and mentor you to climb the ladder. Thank you for joining me this beautiful Saturday morning. We got Black Mon in the house. Who else do we have in the house, man? You guys, if you can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and drop your city and state where you're at, where you're joining us this beautiful morning or this evening, wherever you are located. Drop that city and state where you guys are located, man. I want to see where you guys are located, where you're repping from. I'm drinking coffee this morning. It is an absolutely beautiful fall morning, guys, and I'm in my nice little sweatshirt, Black Heights sweatshirt. I'm rocking all the Black Heights gear today. The sweatshirt, got the hat on. We got Professor Black Ops in the house. Look at that. Professor Black Ops, I'm bringing you on today for sure. We're going to get you on this panel and talk about this stuff. The experience, guys, the experience. We got Mama Coco in the house. We got Breaking Into Tech coming in from the DFW. Good morning, everyone. Get your coffee ready, guys. Get your coffee ready. It's about to be some fun. We're going to chop it up. I'm going to bring some folks into here as well, too, because, guys, you already know that we have a wide range of people that watch this channel for educational purposes, right, and getting game. And we're going to be talking about, guys, experience. We've been talking about, this whole college is a scam thing as of recent, and I've been dropping a couple videos on that. Well, it is my experience that I'm starting to learn now that even people who have degrees, people who have good degrees and useful degrees are not getting entry-level jobs. So we're going to talk about that first. We're also going to be talking about paid and unpaid internships and our experience with the internship process, because we know that internships are key in order for us to get these entry-level roles. And companies like Google and all these other companies that exist out there still do have unpaid internships. And I want to get you guys experience. On that process. So I'll bring you guys on here to kind of tell your stories as well, too, whether you did an unpaid internship or a paid internship. And then we're going to just have a panel, guys. We're going to have a panel. That's what we're going to do. Yes, Mama Coco, you are right. You got to pick a good degree. That's it. College changed my life, too. College changed my life. And I think for the majority of people have said that college has changed their life. But you still got some people that saying college is a scam. College is a scam. It's fall, guys. It's a beautiful day. We got Blind Guy, his wife, and their life in the house. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys for joining us. Do me a favor, guys, when you come into the chat, make sure you hit that like button. That like button is a unpaid fee for this level of education this morning. But it is fall. This is one of the my favorite times of the years because I can dress accordingly. And right now in Texas, guys, the heat has kind of subsided. And right now we're starting to get upper 80s as a high and low 50s as a low. So last night I went out on the patio, had a nice little cigar. It was about 68 degrees. It was absolutely beautiful. No sweltering heat. Oh, it feels good. And Texas is beautiful this time of the year, by the way, guys, especially fall, winter time. When that heat is gone, it is perfect. I was thinking about going to a Friday night football game last night, but instead we were at a winery enjoying ourselves and so forth. But let me talk about this. I want to start this off with an article because we may have a new group of people saying college is a scam because when they graduate, they're not able to get the jobs that they want. And my question for you guys is it their fault or is the system playing against them? I'll share my story eventually sometime this morning, but we're going to start this off with an article first. Okay. We're going to start it off with an article first. Professor Black Ops, you are just wonderful. I can't wait to get you on here. Blackmon said graduation next year with the CIS ready to get to the bag. Yes, yes, yes. That's what it's about, man. Hey, you're going to have to take some tips, some notes for today's session, man, because in order for you to get to the bag, you better have some experience. You better have some experience. Otherwise, Blackmon, you may be one of those people saying college is a scam. Oh, no, but we don't want you to be that. So we're going to help out. We're going to help out. Guys, if you haven't joined my favorite people YouTube channel, do so. We got Professor Black Ops in the house. Go ahead and jump over and subscribe to his site, his page. Wonderful content creator who's going to join us this morning. I can't wait for him. Professor Black Ops is like my big brother, man. A good man who you can just crack up with all the time. Blind Guy, his wife, their life, another fantastic couple. I love married couples. I love watching people work together, and they are an absolutely beautiful couple. Go and subscribe to their channel as well too. They have a show coming up with some really good content creators. They always have good content creators. I gotta network more with them to see how I can get some of those top tier content creators on my site. Yes, I got to network with them. That's what I got to do. I got to do some more networking. I got to get my networking up because Blind Guy, his wife, their life always has the top. I think they may have Kevin Samuels or Anton Daniels coming up, man. These guys have like millions and millions of subscribers. I'm like, man, y'all be doing it. All right, so let's continue on here. I'm going to put this article up. Let's do this. Let's share my screen here. And we're going to talk about this, guys. We're going to talk about this Chrome tab. Ooh, this is a BBC article, and you guys are going to like this. You're going to like this. Here's the title of the article. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, guys. Why inexperienced workers can't get entry-level jobs. Uh-oh. Or do we have a next round of people saying college is a scam coming up? Don't be these people. Don't be these people. Cadbury says we have trash still fed in our brains. Thank you and continue. I don't know what that means, but okay. I think you may be chatting with somebody else. But check this out, guys. Entry-level jobs used to be the way for new graduates to enter the workforce, but many are now requiring prior experience. Yes, that's true. That is absolutely true. So I will just tell you guys the experience with me, right? I was going into my senior year of college. I took a unpaid internship that summer. and I'll get to the details later. But long story short, the jobs that I was applying for to get into the tech field, they wanted people with experience. So in order for me to get experience, I had to do something, right? And that's going to lead into this overall discussion today. But as anyone who graduated from university or applied for their first job in recent years can attest to, something new and alarming has happened to entry-level jobs. They've disappeared. Entry-level jobs are disappearing, they're saying, guys. A recent analysis of close to 4 million jobs posted on LinkedIn since late 2017 showed that 35% of postings for entry-level positions ask for years of prior relevant work experience. Wow. That requirement was even more common in certain industries. More than 60% of the listings for entry-level software and IT service jobs, for instance, required 3 or more years of experience. So they're asking for experience for entry-level jobs, guys. They're asking for experience for entry-level jobs. And in short, it seems that entry-level jobs aren't for people just entering the workforce at all. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cadbury, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Good job, I'm saying. Knowledge content, bro. Absolutely. Knowledge content is important, man. It's important. You know, it's important, and it's fun too, right? And that's the thing. We're trying to make it fun over here as well too. But guys, entry-level jobs aren't for people just entering the workforce. Damn! And a lot of people, I'm running across them, a lot of them now with coaching sessions, ask questions like, what'd you major in? I majored in management information systems or computer information systems or marketing. And they've graduated and they're already in the workforce, but they're not working in their line of work. And I ask the questions, okay, did you do an unpaid internship? And a lot of them say, no, I did not. And guess what? They're asking for coaching right now so that they can get into the workforce, but they're already behind. They're already behind. And while that first job is harder than ever to get, it is true, it's also more important than ever, says Alan Steele, an associate professor of economics at Auburn University. It may be the bottom rung on the employment ladder, but a worker's first position sets the tone for their career. Absolutely. Guys, we always talk about this all the time, right? So we always talk about the college degrees that you pick and so forth is like, you know, in a track meet, you jumping out of the blocks, right? Well, when it comes down to your first level job that you're going to get, that is also part of the career acceleration piece of it as well, too. Your first job is like what sets the tone for your career a lot of the times, because the majority of people stay with their company at least 3 to 5 years, their first entry level job, and it just allows for you to get to a certain point in your salary and a point in your career, the gaining knowledge and so forth. And it's a building block. It is that first rung in the ladder, guys. It is the first rung in the ladder. And I can tell you this right now, just in my personal experience, my first job in the professional world as a software engineer was the first rung on that ladder. That was the first step because I leveraged that to continue to climb the ladder using skills that we've talked about before, guys. But it's important to get these first level positions, as according to Professor of Economics, Alan Steele. The most important time in your career is the first 3 years, he says. The quality of your first employer really matters. So how do you get that first job? Ooh, that's the question. That's the $1 million question. The simple answer is workers need something more than a motivation or a college degree to enter the workforce now, whether it's lots of internships or connections. Soft skills, guys, connections to get around a complex application process without an algorithm weeding them out. So the other day, I was on Pocket Watching with JT, and we did a fantastic, it was a panel, me, Orlando, and JT, and he opened it up, and it was about, is college a scam? Because, you know, people who graduated from college, they weren't able to get jobs and so forth. And it was a fantastic panel, guys. Go and check that out. I'll leave a link to it in the video description here, so you guys can go and check that video out. But it was a good time. It was like barbershop talk. But one of the points that we talked about that was there was this gentleman who said he applied for over 1,500 jobs as a what was he? He was a park and recreation major, or he was a social worker. He was one of those. He picked one of those useless degrees, guys. That's what he did. He picked one of those useless degrees, and he was out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And he applied for 1,500 jobs, was not able to get a job. And we were asking the question, how do you apply for 1,500 jobs, guys? I mean, that's very difficult, right? Like, if you think about it, most jobs want you to tailor your resume to meet the requirements of the actual job. So how do you apply for 1,500 jobs? It takes me, days just to get my resume right. And applying for 1,500 jobs, that would take me over a year to be able to do so, okay? But I guess apparently there's a bulk feature in ZipRecruiter or some of the other job hunting boards and recruiting boards that allow for you to do this massive send. And guess what happens? Algorithms take those resumes and basically spit them out. So they don't even get a chance. The people who are looking to hire people, they don't even get a chance to see it, right? So the algorithm actually weeds it out. And that's what he's talking about here. Let's continue on. But not everyone or everybody has access to those advantages, and the result is that workers are left behind. The rise of the internship, guys. Internships, we talk about them all the time. If you guys have ever been on O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel, and we've done a Hall of Game or something like that, we talk about the need for people to do internships. It is very important to do internships. Let's jump over to the chat real fast. Salute before the billions is in the house, man. What is happening? I didn't know. Before the billions, another great content creator, guys. If you haven't gone to his channel yet, he's giving you guys a game before you get to the billions, man. Smart brother. Go and check him out. I came through his channel through Pocket Watching with JT. But another fantastic content creator, guys. Go and check out his YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, guys. We need to grow the audience. We need to grow and support our people as well too. Before the billion said big facts. Cadbury says, seeing I'm putting this on my son's TV now. See, that's good. That's good, Cadbury. I appreciate that, because if we are parents, we may be in a position of a parent, right? And we have kids that are going through college, or we have kids that are in high school. This is the conversations that we need to be having early on. So to prepare them for what's to come in the future. This is the reason why I love talking about this stuff on this channel. It's because we have a wide range of people who come to this channel. We have a huge group that's in 18 to 24. That's the majority of people that actually watch this channel, guys. Then we have a large group that's in between 24 and 35. And then we also have a good group segment between 35 and 44, and some even older. But there is a good range of people that actually watch this channel. And this is the game for a lot of people. But let's get back to it, okay? Let's get back to it. Oh, Tangeray Janatonic says, oh, that's a big supporter. That was a fantastic panel. Glad I caught y'all on Pocket Watching with JT that evening. But that chicken... Yeah, if you guys get a chance to watch that entire stream, it was hilarious. We had a gentleman that came up there with a chicken mask on, something that I haven't seen in my entire life of live streaming. He literally had a chicken mask on, but there is a reason for it, and we certainly do support him. So let's continue on. The rise of the internship. An ever-growing internship market means more young people are fleshing out their resumes before they even leave university, says Seals, who notes many students are now getting their first internship after the first year. It's true. It's true. If I get a chance to, if Houston's Phenom, who is a person that watches this channel, if he comes across a video, or if you are in the chat, Houston Phenom, Michael, I would like to see you on a panel today as well, too, if you have a chance, if you're free. Otherwise, just be active within the chat, because he's a gentleman who has done, I believe, 4 or 5 internships already. And he's an electrical engineering major at the University of Houston. And right now he's interning with Facebook, right? And I think this may be his 3rd or 4th or 5th internship. So as to get to the bag, guys, if you're in college, you want to start interning after your first year. And if you are a first-year student, you need to start to prepare for that internship going into your summer year. That's your summer years that are coming up right now. And before the end of the session today, we're going to give you 5 tips that's going to help prepare you for the internships this summer. Okay. That's what I'm going to leave you guys with as something that you can take away from the screen today. 5 tips that you can use to prepare for the internship that's coming up over the summer. Okay. So internships are now the entry level. Guys, internships are now the entry level. Most of the students in college are doing or trying to do internships, and now it's increasingly common to do more than one. This is an example of Mr. Michael. He has done a lot of internships already. He's done internships, I believe, with Exxon, with Facebook, I believe with Apple as well, too. That's insane. That's insane. I only did one internship, and I needed that internship in order for me to break through into the IT space. And I'll get into that story. But internships are the new entry level, guys. That's why the people are saying that entry level jobs no longer exist, because people with internships, that is the entry level jobs. That's the entry level jobs. Seal says this fact impacts the entry level job market on multiple fronts. First, companies can save money by using interns to do work without having to pay junior employees. It's true. The more interns a company has, the fewer entry level jobs it's likely to open. Second, because applicants with one or more internships on their resume aren't tough to come by. Okay, let me repeat that. Second, because applicants with one or more internships on their resume aren't tough to come by. Those who don't have internship experience are left out in the cold. There you go, guys. Damn! The game is being told to you right now. You don't have an internship. You might be one of the people that's saying college is a scam, guys. You might be one of the people that says college is a scam. Now, it's not over for you if you don't have an internship. There's ways to get into it, and we'll talk about that as well, too. But if you don't have an internship these days, right, you already seeing that you may be one of the ones that says college is a scam. My boy, Cadbury says, keep coming. He's 9 and watching. That's start him young. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Black One says, currently working on a paid internship at Northrop Grumman that involves security clearance. Also have a home lab for practicing tickets and troubleshooting and virtual. See, he's getting prepared. He's getting prepared. It's true. It's true. We have people that are already doing internships. Paid internships is that. But the conversation today is going to be talking about paid versus unpaid, because I'm the type of person that took an unpaid internship and it cost me, but it was a good acceleration into the corporate world. About the billions, before the billions says this, I had 2 internships and it was still difficult, but that's where connections in your resume come in handy. Preach, brother. People need to spend their free time studying on how to get a job. Oh, damn! I didn't say it. Before the being said it. He said it. People need to spend their free time on how to get a job. It's true. We got a lot of people who are spending their free time watching entertainment. They need a job. Spend your free time learning on how to get a job. But we're here to help you with that as well, too. That's what the Black Heights coaching is used for. Guys, if you are in a situation right now where you are a person who just graduated and you need help and you need career coaching, a career transition, look us up, book a session with us, consultation. That's the best way to do it. DS94, federal facts. Yes. Professor Black Ops says, before the billions facts, I'm 50 plus, still grinding. Ooh, Professor Black Ops, man. He's going to be grinding for a long time. He's a guy who is so experienced into this world, in the IT world. So let's continue on. All right. In some cases, you need to have an internship to get an internship. It's also tough if you're an ethnic minority. Ooh, a February 2020 study co-authored showed that employers are less likely to respond to intern applicants with Black sounding names and much more likely to hire those who had internships before. Guys, we're not going to be talking about the names and stuff like that, but there's ways that you can get around that. And, just like foreigners who come to this city or this state, right? And their name could be Lujing Payne or something like that, and they shorten their name to Chris or something like that. There's ways around it, right? We're not going to be talking about that specifically on this channel right now or in this subject, but it's true, guys. When we all have our biases, right? We just don't want to be the people that biases impacts, right? But at the end of the day, we all have biases, and people are saying that certain types of names can impact your opportunity to get employed. And we all know that, though. We all know that. So that's nothing new. Add to the fact that the vast majority of internship opportunities are geographically located near major cities, meaning those who don't already live there or can't relocate are out of luck. This is a problem. In the United States, internships are on the coast, says Steele. Those are most expensive places to be in the country to live. And if you're in college in a region with no internships, now you need to not only get an internship, but find a way to afford moving there for a summer. And if you have no knowledge of how the system works or how to gain access to elite levels and places, you're left behind. The automated office. It's not only internships that have replaced the entry-level job. Many of them have been eliminated over recent decades as tools and technologies are introduced to do the same work without the paycheck. Guys, if you guys have matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, Dr. Patrick Dix came on this channel and he talked about automation, right? He talked about automation. And this is automation at play right now. A lot of what have been classified as entry level 30 years ago has gone away because of automation. Okay. A US based career matching service for new graduates. Think about things like product research, scheduling, or ordering office supplies. Those used to be jobs that exist before, guys. But now those jobs are gone because of automation. Creating presentations. There used to be a whole team that did that. Now we have Microsoft PowerPoint, right? We have Microsoft PowerPoint that's responsible for creating presentations. And you can do that in your office, in your seat by yourself. So teams that used to create presentations before, whether it was on paper or whether it was using some sort of tool that used to exist, those no longer exist anymore because you have tools like PowerPoint, automation. Work that once fell to a group of early career employees can be done by one person in a fraction of the time. It's a huge optimization increase. We can do a lot more with less, but it's also taken a lot of those roles that were more administrative in nature, and it's caused those roles to be eliminated. Automation, guys. Automation. It doesn't happen just in the blue collar world where you're potentially will be eliminated from warehousing and picking and things like that because of automation and autonomous robots and things like that. This is also happening into the white collar world as well, too. Office jobs where there used to be teams that created presentations. Now there are tools that's responsible for creating presentations. You can do that by yourself. So companies are seeing that you can do a lot more with less, with tools that exist out there. So what's left at the entry-level job then are often jobs that require more interpersonal communication, higher level responsibilities, or consumer-facing roles. Soft skills, guys. That's what's happening for entry-level. The goal here is this. Companies have figured it out. We want to bring you on if you have the experience, and we're going to put you into an early level job if you have experience, but you also have to come with a package of interpersonal skills, the soft skills. Read this, guys. Read this again. What's left at the entry level, and they have quotes around this, are often jobs that require more interpersonal communication. You have to be able to communicate, both written and verbal, right? You have to be able to relate to people, right? Higher level responsibilities on consumer-facing roles. Businesses, they want you to be able to interact with customers. Otherwise, if you can't, you're screwing the business. You're screwing yourself because you're not going to get paid. It's about the customers at the end of the day. It's about producing a product or a service. It's about selling a product or a service. If you can't talk to a customer a certain way, If you don't have the ability to connect to a customer, then guys, you're going to be left in the dark. So soft skills are so important when it comes down to this stuff, guys. Okay, let me continue on. What's left at the entry level? Then are often jobs that require more interpersonal communication, higher level responsibilities, or consumer-facing roles, which many companies are reluctant to trust to a newly minted graduate. They're not going to give you guys their responsibilities because they don't trust you. They don't trust that you have the ability to communicate. That's what it is. They don't trust that you have the ability to communicate. Let's go over to the chat real fast. For the Bean says, if you're in the tech industry, there are a lot of internships that pay you. Let me read this. If you're in the tech industry, there are a lot of internships that pay, but you need to find some transportation. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Portians. Ashton James says internships, whether paid or unpaid, equate to experience. Add to your resume and immediately give you connections who can be used for future job references. This is important. You're absolutely right, Ashton. I love that. Before the Bean says, I used to carpool with my other interns who needed a ride. Professor Black Ops says, I'm old enough to remember typing pools. Every department had a secretary. Just C-suite gets a secretary now. That's true. Automation right there. He's seen it. He's seen the jobs eliminated. What used to exist in corporations, departments, and so forth, they no longer exist anymore. Automation. The Black Cyber Network says tech race is to mind space. Okay, you brothers are inspiring at a chat also. I appreciate that, guys. Keep it going. And I'm going to end this article relatively fast because I know I've been preaching for quite some time. So the roles that exist now are in customer service, claims management, project management, those kind of things. But there's a different level of rigor to that work and some industry knowledge that goes into these things. Increasingly, people have gotten almost skittish hiring right out of school. I'll talk to executives who are like, we're happy to hire entry-level people as long as they have 2 years of experience. The job application and hiring system has also been automated, which only makes things more difficult for entry-level workers who may be a good fit for a role, but who lack the right resume buzzwords. There are major problems with the hiring process. So yes, we all understand that there's a problem that exists here. And we all understand that the system may be a bit flawed. But at the end of the day, here's some statistics for you. 43% of college graduates don't have a college level job in their first job after school. Guys, if you don't have the internships, look at that statistic. It's saying almost 50% of college graduates don't have a college level job in their first job after school. And here's the thing, guys. If you don't major in something that's useful, you're probably not going to have a job if you don't do an internship. Okay. If you major in something useful, you probably still won't have a job after college if you don't have an internship. So guys, what's the common factor here? Get an internship. You have to have experience while you're in college. You have to have experience while you're in college, whether it's paid or unpaid. And we'll get to that as well, too. All right, we'll get to that as well, too. But here's a workaround. We're going to get to a workaround. We all understand that the system is flawed. Okay. But there's a reason to be optimistic. In the aftermath of the pandemic, the system is undergoing a shift. Okay. That means that the requirements for entry-level jobs are being shooken up. There's a shakeup that's going to happen. And here's the thing, guys. Moving away. So here's the thing. This is a piece that I wanted to get to. I'm not anti-algorithm because algorithms is what's really causing a lot of people to get weeded out. But when you have a poorly written job description and resumes that don't tell the whole story, we have incomplete data. Better hiring practices, he suggests, might focus on individual compliments, characteristics, potential, rather than just a number of years of prior experience, blah, blah, blah. So here's the thing. There's a piece in this article that talked about subsiding, getting rid of the algorithms, right? Or how to get around the algorithms. And that is the soft skill piece of it, building a relationship. Before the Beans actually said this here, right? Guys, you need to really focus on how to get a job. Study how to get a job. And a lot of how to get a job is to connect with people. And when you connect to people, you can say, can you take a look at this resume? And if they're working for a company that is hiring, you know what happens is most companies, if they have people who are giving them resumes who are already employers, they have to look at that resume. So no longer are you getting put into a pool that's filtering your resume out because of algorithms, just submitting a job on LinkedIn. No, you should be tapping the person on the shoulder who works at the company saying, hey, you know what? Here's my resume. Can you help me out here? Can you help me out here? You know what that does? That circumvents going through that process. So that is a tip for you today, guys, is the interpersonal relationships is important. It is very important. Building those soft skills are important. Companies right now are not going to hire you if you don't have those interpersonal skills, those soft skills that we talk about a lot on this channel. They are the most important skills in order for you to have any amount of success in your school, in life, in your career, in relationships. The ability to communicate, the ability to manage conflict, the ability to relate with others, the ability to sell yourself. These are all soft skills that are important, not just for your career, but in life in general. And you can see based on this article that they're not hiring people who don't have experience anymore, which is because they're saying there's people who already have that experience and who want that experience and who are going to do what they can to push themselves at the elite level or at a level above the majority of people to get these entry-level jobs. And these are the people who have 2, 3, 4, 5 internships. And we have people who watch this channel who've done that. Houston Phenom is one of them. Hopefully he jumps in the chat today. But guys, here we're going to do, I'm going to open this up to a panel because I have a video that I want for us to talk about. And we're going to watch it while you guys are on here as well too. But let me do this. I'm going to bring this up. Let me copy this over here. And I want to get some folks here on the panel to kind of talk about this. And we got a video that I want to watch. And I want to get you guys experience or I want to hear your stories for the folks that come up on the panel about internships and what they're seeing and so forth. And then we're going to jump over to the paid versus unpaid internships. And what I'm going to do, guys, is this. Let me do this. This is perfect here. Guys, if you want to come on the panel today, go ahead and jump into it. We'll bring you on. Let me do this. I'll queue up the video that we're going to be watching as well, too. So let me stop sharing here. And I want for us to talk about paid versus unpaid internships because there are people who are complaining about internships as well, too. There are people who are complaining about internships as well, too. Okay. They're saying unpaid internships, they want to get rid of them. There are people who are saying paid internships are what they want. But corporate America is saying, guys, we're going to keep unpaid internships out there. And I had to take one myself. But here's my story. And I'll bring you in, Professor Blackhouse, in a second, sir. Welcome to the chat, my man. Welcome. I can't wait to get you on, brother. I know you got a lot to say today. So before I get there, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me go over to the chat. I want to make sure that I'm getting everything here. You brothers are aspiring. Thank you, Cadbury. I appreciate you. So college, if not on grant money, will put each one in debt. So loopholes are a must. Yes, that's true. Salute Professor Black Ops, blind guided wife for the people before the billions. Yes, they're in the house. Don't sleep on those soft skills. That's how I got most of my jobs. Kev IT Tech Support, guys, another content creator. Go and check him out. Go ahead and go over to his channel. He is another one who is just doing amazing, getting people into the tech world. And Kev, if you got an opportunity this morning, come on here as well, too. I would love to hear from you. Cadbury said, yes. Characters is a yes, that is huge. What's your email address for a consultation, sir? So Dave Tao, do me a favor. You don't even have to worry about the email. All that can be done through the Black Heights site. Go to www.blkheights.com or type in Black Heights on your Google search. We'll come up. There's a button that you can push for a consultation, sir. Thank you so much for joining the chat, Dave Tao. Really appreciate you. Blind guy and wife says this. Without soft skills, you can always stay on the wheel in the back, grinding out opportunities for the company. That is true. That is true. Salute. I love that before the billions. I love that, man. The little you shorten that. You shorten that. Okay, so Houston Phenom is in the house. Michael, if you got a chance to come on today too, I would love for you to share your story about how many internships that you have gotten so far in college, being in college already. I believe you're a senior right now. And I've been talking about you already this morning about internships and the importance of them and the entry-level jobs really going to people who have had internships. And entry-level jobs don't even exist anymore because here's the thing. When you are applying to these entry-level jobs, they supposedly say they're coming with or a need for 2 to 3 years of experience. So how are they entry-level when they're requiring 2 to 3 years of experience? The experience comes with internships. That's the complete circle of this whole thing, guys, if you're just joining the chat. Kev IT Support says this. I hope everyone having a good day this morning. I just woke up. Black Heights College. We may open a college, but the engineering candidate says AI and big data, a field that is lucrative and a career changing, but the ability to communicate your findings on air analytics and tells a story. That's true. That's true. Let's bring in, let's do this. Let's do this with my brother right here. I got to get my brother in. I want to hear from my brother this morning. How you doing, big bro?
I'm doing good, man. How's my audio? I'm doing great.
It was good, man. I'm over here drinking some coffee right now. I got my little sweatshirt on. I'm in here just having a good time, man. You having a good morning?
Yeah, I'm up trying to get moving. You know, I always try to make your 9:30. That's always on there. Shout out to Career Tech. Young guys need to get up too. Come on, Kev, get rolling, man. I know he's out there in New York somewhere, man. Tell the old people been up. Come on, Kev, get rolling. Kev Tech. Go check that brother out. He be doing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been doing some fantastic things. And guys, if you got a chance to come up, do come in. So talk about this, brother PBO, right? We're talking about internships and the need for internships. Talk about that. What's your experience on internships, need for internships, entry-level jobs? What's your experience there, brother?
Oh, like everybody said, you need interns. I was just lucky when I graduated college in 90. I had 2 internships. I actually worked on a mainframe computer I had 2 years of that. I had 2 summer internships at an agency. And the guy actually put it in the chat. When I was in school, you could get work study. So if you were poor enough, they said you get work study, you can work for like 20 hours a week in college. So I actually programmed for the university doing market focused COBOL. So I had really like 4 internships. I had 2 years programming for the university in that statistician program. Then I had 2 years working for a government agency. So I had like 4 internships. So that made it a lot easier because I came out in a recession. So it was really struggling. But so I got a job. It was a low paying job. I came out like you. I was a software engineer, junior programmer. And I think my first job, I made $24,000. And my wife was like, that's all you could get. I'm like, it's a recession. I'm going to get it. Out later, 35 years later, I'm 6 figures, out there grinding, trying to catch up with my young brother. He showed his check stubs. I got nervous. I'm like, I'm going to have to start doing a little harder. But now you got to get those interns. And 2 is I would take a paid, unpaid intern. That would just be plan Z. Black Heights going to give you a lot of options before you get to plan Z. If that's the last plan Z, then you take it. But you should be working for the school, working for people. I'm actually thinking about starting a class. I actually just reached out to Upworks. And if I get work, I'm going to hire like 2 or 3 interns to do GRC, which is policies, procedures, that type of management style, to help people get some intern experience, when I'm working on side projects.
That's something that I want to do too, PBO. I really do want to open and give people opportunities to under Black Heights, right? That's an ultimate goal, is to have people under what Cadbury says, Black Heights University, to do internships, right? That is exactly what is a plan that I have in the near future. But here's the thing, right? You just said it. Even years ago, you had 2, 3, 4, 4 years of experience plus entering the job market, right? You had a lot of experience entering the job market, and that's the thing, right? Even for me, PBO, I had to take a unpaid internship going into my senior year. I was probably working part-time. I was working part-time at Menards, and I had to quit that job in order for me to take an unpaid internship in order for me to get into the IT field. I told that story before, but I had to do it. And what it did was it opened the door in order for me to get into tech support. at Kohl's corporate headquarters. I had to do it because just like they said in this article, they were looking for people with some level of experience, 1, 2, 3, 4 years of experience and so forth. And if you didn't have it, they weren't hiring you. And it was then that I actually had that experience in my resume that I started to get these callbacks from companies where I would submit my application. So it's important. And the people, here's the thing, I graduated during the time of a recession as well, too. I graduated in 2005, in December of 2005. But in 2006, we were heading towards that 2008 recession. And a lot of people that graduated with me around that time, the job market had already slowed. If they didn't do an internship, those guys did not get a job. They did not get a job at all. So it's important, guys, in the internships. We got another brother that's in here, Michael Houston Phenom, that we're going to bring onto the chat. And guys, I want you guys to listen to his story because he is one who's done multiple internships, man, multiple internships, and not just internships for small companies. I'm like, I got it the way how I could get it, which was reaching out to a CEO of a company. He was an African-American man that owned his own company. He probably only had about 7 people working for him doing website designs. And I just reached out via email, soft skills, connect with him, saying, hey, you know what? Can I help you guys this summer? And he said, yes, that same night, but I can't pay you, Mr. Wade. And I said, you know what? I can say, okay, I'm not going to work for you. Or I could have said, yes, I'm going to work for you. My choice was yes. And that was the gateway in order for me to get into the tech world. So I know people don't like unpaid internships, but sometimes you need to make the sacrifice. And that was the whole point of this video today in that thumbnail. Some people are soft, right? But before we get there, we're going to bring in brother Michael into this one to kind of talk about his experience, to share his experience as well, too. How you doing, brother Michael, man? The Houston Phenom?
Man, I've been doing well. How are you, man? How are y'all on the panel?
We are doing fantastic, man. Thank you for joining us this morning, man.
Thank you for having me.
So Michael, we're talking about internships, and we're talking about the importance of them. I know you from being a subscriber to this channel, but not only that, also of being very active on LinkedIn, and you're a college student. Every single time I'm looking at where college breaks, whether it's over the summer or in the fall, you're on another internship. Yeah. Share your experience about your internship journey, why you do it, what you're doing, and how important it is. Go ahead and give us a little bit of insight, sir.
Yeah, so just giving everybody a little bit of background about me. I'm a senior studying electrical engineering at the University of Houston. But when I was like a sophomore, right, I think what got me my internship was really my involvement within the National Society of Black Engineers. So that's an organization that gave me connections, and I used that organization as an avenue to get all the opportunities that I have. So I think at the time, right, the only things I had on my resume were working with my parents. So my parents have a business. So every summer since I've been like 10, 12, I work for them. I know how real estate works. I know how mortgage works. And knowing that business inside and out and having that entrepreneurial spirit, I think that was something they picked up on, even though I didn't have that technical experience. But I think more than that, right, what sold them for me was the leadership experience as well. So I mentioned National Society of Black Engineers. I'm an officer as well. So being an officer, being able to speak to how I work with people, and the fact that I didn't even get paid for this, and I'm taking that initiative to do more outside the classroom, those kind of things that you do to separate yourself, that's what employers pick for. And I actually got my first internship with GM at a NSBE conference. So NSBE has a fall regional conference and a national conference. So I went in the fall, I got my first internship from there. And I think after you get the first, it's so easy to get the rest. So it's about polishing your interview skills and being ready. But yeah, this is a quick overview of what my experience was.
Wow. So tell me this, man. So tell people what NSBE is. All right. Go give them a little bit more insight on what NSBE is. Obviously, I know what it stands for, but let the audience know, if they aren't engineers, what NSBE is, because there may be other societies that exist out there in their field or their field of study. Let's just say if they're not an engineer. So talk about that.
Okay, so NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, and basically the NSBE mission is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. So most schools have a NSBE chapter, And that chapter actually puts on events to prepare you for your academics, study nights, helping you, giving you resources to make sure you have the high GPA, also doing community work, community service, and things like that. But I think what we're talking about is the professional side of things. And so for me, NESB had a professional development chair, and they're the people who really connected me with employers, brought me in for info sessions, told me what to say, what not to say, how to handle that interview, when you get to the conference, what exactly you need to be looking out for. And they told me early on as a sophomore and freshman, you need to be working on this resume because you think school is the most important thing, but really it's this experience that you get over time. And I've witnessed people with 4.0s graduate and they cannot find a job. And so I'm glad that I was a part of NESB and I had that experience and that advice early on.
So I love that, Michael, because joining groups like this, guys, it's not about it is not about how smart you are. That's the thing, right? It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how good that you can actually do the job. It's really about how you can connect to people and how people can share their experience with you and to coach you into saying the right things for an internship, preparing you for an internship, building your soft skills, building those relationships. Check this out, right? Blind Guy and their wife says this. I mean, studying in the back grinding because people want advancement, but they don't understand how the soft skills can advance them too. That's what it's about. It's about these soft skills, guys. Corporate or entities and groups like NESB prepare you for these and help you with your soft skills because you're rubbing shoulders with people. You're learning how to lead. You're seeing it. You're learning how to communicate. You're learning how to articulate yourself and your selling points of who you are as a person when you're interviewing with other people, right? These are the things that you actually do. And these are all soft skills. That is fantastic. Blind Guy, their wife and their life. So let me get over here. Let me get this off the screen here. But Kev IT Support says this. Internships definitely work. I have proof of this. Engineering Cannabis says a field of big data AI is lucrative, but also, I think we hit that one. I'm changing my mom's oil. Before the video says you're getting the oil change, listen to us on the podcast. I love that. You got to get it done, my man. Get it done. Professor Black Ops, cybersecurity for the people. Get to see you on the big screen. Yes. Kev IT Support, if you want to jump on, you can jump on too. Tyrese is in the house. I appreciate you coming on as well too. Tyrese, so that's Tyrese. I took an unpaid internship working at Walmart night shift to feed myself, loading cornflakes and canned goods. It was hard, but worth it. You know what? Sometimes it's about the sacrifice. That's what it is. Sometimes it is about the sacrifice, right? Companies out there still do unpaid internships, whether you like it or not, right? You may have to take that unpaid internship in order for you to come out of school to get your entry level job, because there are no more. They don't even call them entry level jobs at all. What is considered entry level is at least needing at least 2 to 3 years of experience, guys. And you've heard that from the article, right? So you think about somebody like Brother Michael here that's on the channel and PBO, right? These guys had 2, 3, 4 years of experience before they even came out of college in order for them to get the job that they're currently going for or they currently were in, right? PBO said he had to do, what was it called, PBO? It was work study or something like that?
It's called work study. That's in 1988. That might not exist anymore. People, they would just say, hey, you were poor. We give you so many hours of work study, then you could go work for an agency side, the university. I was just lucky. I worked for the stats team, so I could program. I was doing micro focus COBOL. Like I said, I need to Google that. I don't even know work study exists anymore. No, I graduated my degree in 1990, man. I got my MBA in 1995. How old are you, man?
Me, I'm 22.
Yeah, there you go, man. You get in the game. You cheering me up, man. I like to see you putting in work, man. Keep grinding, man. I'm gonna try to kick in a few doors for you, but you're gonna be CISO, CIO, director. So I'm gonna need you to keep running, man. I'm gonna need you to keep running.
That's what we need. We need the examples of that. And I thought the perfect person to come on here was somebody like Michael to come and share his experience. But let me get to these chats real fast. And then what we'll do, guys, is if you guys have time, I have a video that kind of talks about unpaid and paid internships. And I want for us to kind of dissect this video with the audience here, to kind of give our opinions, right, about paid and unpaid internships and kind of where the job market is going in, ways that you guys have seen people get into entry-level jobs, and what are some of the things and tips and tools that you guys can recommend in order for them to get to a job, right? A level of success that they want to get to and start to move on within their career. Let me get to the chats real fast. Nobody cares about GPA and STEM or where you went to school. They care about what you have done in your soft skills. Tyrese, brother, you are absolutely right. KevTech says this: soft skills is super important in tech. I can't stress this enough, especially if you work in IT support. You need to know how to talk to people and how to have empathy for the client. That is so true, Kev, IT support, man. That is so true. Cadbury says it's about who you know and meet. Character is golden. Teachers. Yep, that's true. Tangeray, appreciate the super chat, my man. I appreciate you on the super chat. You always sending some love. Thank you so much. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, I would highly suggest spending a couple hours today setting one up. It is invaluable. It's not always what you know, it's who you know. Oh my God. That is, brother, you thank you so much for the super chat. And that is absolutely priceless right there. That's priceless information. If you don't have a LinkedIn, guys, if you don't have a LinkedIn, you need to set one up today. And LinkedIn is the tool that I use the majority of the time to network with people, whether that is in my corporate role or whether that is to keep up with people like Michael, who I don't talk to often, but I see what's going on with him through his LinkedIn. Talk about that, PBO. I'll let you go first. Talk about the importance of LinkedIn before we go on to the next piece of it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn is, like you said, invaluable. It's weird because anytime I try to freelance or something, first thing I see them, they go actually look at my LinkedIn and they figure out what do I know, who I know. Then if I know somebody they know, they gonna call them because it shows your connections. So now you gotta have, and I'm old and I got one, so mine's not the best, but now you gotta have one. And like I said, that's the first thing employers look at. The cool thing too is I got people reaching out to me, CIOs, CFOs. They can leave comments on there what you done for them, and people love to see that. So now you definitely gotta have a LinkedIn.
Michael, Houston Phenom, my man, talk about your experience with LinkedIn, because you are an active person. Not that I was active on LinkedIn, but you are super active, man. Talk about your experience with LinkedIn, why you need it and so forth, and what you use it for as well.
Man, LinkedIn is the truth, man. And I think the main reason it's good for students is because even as somebody with not too much experience, recruiters can reach out to you for internships and things like that. I interviewed with Microsoft last year like 3 times, and they found my profile through LinkedIn. And I can count like maybe 6, 7 times a year I get emails from recruiters looking to hire me for their company. So having that LinkedIn profile, having all your experience there, having those key words in your profile, having your profile look nice and visually appealing to where you stand out, those are the kind of little things that really make you stand out. And also like the connection piece as well. I think I got my interview at Facebook because I connected with a director, stayed in touch on LinkedIn, and when I saw that application come out, I messaged him and he put a lead on my application, and that's how I got through, right? So
so you bypass the automation by leveraging connections. You bypass automation right there.
Yep, for sure.
So I want you to hit on that some more, Houston Phenom. Hit on that piece of it some more, because that's what the article talked about, and that's what I tell people all the time too. Is if you have soft skills and you connect with people, right? There's so many jobs that exist out there. A lot of the jobs right now, or I say the majority of jobs, I think 78% of them are black market, right? And what I mean by black market, I mean that they aren't even listed a lot of times, right? But if you know people, right, and you're looking for a job, you can really just quickly send them your resume and say, hey, you know what? Like, do you have an opening? Right? Can you look up for me if something does come open? But the fact of the matter is they listed the job, you leveraged somebody that you connected with, and you backdoored it. And when you backdoor something, they're more than likely going to get it to the hiring manager so that they can actually bring you in for an interview, and you don't have to worry about the automation process of being weeded out. Talk about that. Talk about that some more, my man.
Man, I think it's just about connecting with people. If I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know that connection would come in handy. I was just connecting with people. I was meeting people at a conference. And whenever I meet a professional, go to an information session for a company, I always send a personalized LinkedIn request after. The reason being is because not too many people do that. And it's a way for you to stay visible in a way. So like Antoine, me and you have, this is like the first time we've talked, but
Yes.
it feels like we know each other because I've been present on LinkedIn. You've seen my posts, you've seen kind of things I've done. I've liked, I've commented on your stuff, and just that virtual connection, it can make you feel like you know somebody. And by utilizing those, that's how you get in. So for me, like when I'm approaching these NSBE conferences, I'm using my LinkedIn 24/7. If I see a recruiter say, "Hey, I'll be attending the conference," I'll go to the profile, look at it, send a personalized invite. Hey, looking forward to seeing you all at the conference, and think about how many students do that. And that's not too common, right? And so when they see you doing that, taking that initiative, not waiting till last minute, you automatically stand out above competition. Even sometimes if they have a little bit more experience than you, it shows that you want it a little bit more and you're willing to chase it.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I say this. I'm bringing in my guy Kevin, IT support. But before we get there, let's do this. Michael, you just summed up the game here. I'm like, you really just gave a good understanding of why you need to use LinkedIn, how you need to leverage it, how you and I have really stayed in contact with each other. With this being the first time that we have literally talked, like physically talked, like communicated. We've been connected through a virtual with LinkedIn, YouTube, and so forth. And not only that, Kev IT support is another one who I only know Kev IT support, tech support via YouTube and via LinkedIn. That is it. But the fact of the matter is, these are channels that you can use to leverage people, but not only that, get their expertise and stay connected to help each other, right? So Kev IT support, man, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? How's everyone doing?
Doing great, man. I need you to get up earlier, Kev Tech. I need you to get on the grind, Kev Tech. Come on, man. No, I'm just joking. Nice seeing you, man.
I actually wanted to chime in on LinkedIn actually, because I know you guys were talking about LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that I seen people get jobs in IT just making a YouTube video and then linking it on the feature option on LinkedIn. So like hiring managers will go to that. So hiring managers will literally go to like the person's profile, scroll down to the feature section, and then they see, oh, this person's working on a lab. Wait, what? Server 2016? Server 2019? Wait, what? Cisco Packet Tracer? What are they doing over here? And then they usually get a job like that. I know people from London that got a job like that. So
wow,
don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not used properly. You have to know how to use LinkedIn properly. So
wow, that is a good story, Kev Tech. You know what? I've never used it like that, but you just imagine there's so many people that come across YouTube, whether it's YouTube or whether it's LinkedIn, right? They're going to be able to find your information. So it sounds like you said this person, leverage or linked a video that they did on YouTube in their LinkedIn on their profile, and somebody actually went to it and saw it and then actually hired them.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. That's selling yourself. That's basically selling your skills right there. Wow. So Kev, talk about internships, man. Talk about internships. What do you want to add to the experience, my man? What do you want to add to the conversation, my man?
So I actually run an internship on my own for IT support. So for anyone that doesn't know, on my YouTube channel, and I do this on the side. I don't get paid for this, and I do it like I actually take money out of my pocket and I give interns like full licenses for Office 365 and certain things. And what they do is they actually get to train with me. So I train them on Active Directory, Office 365. I train them on how to talk in job interviews, how to answer interview questions, and how to do certain things when you go to the job market. And this is my third internship that I'm running. The first one and the second one, they all skip help desk. So they all got jobs already. And it's to show you that internships do work. And especially with certain jobs that they went to, because I went to help them with their resumes and everything. And they went to actually go to the interview and like, wait, you know Kev Tech? I'm like, yeah, I know him. Did he train you? Yes, he trained me. Oh, okay, I'm going to hire you. So it happens sometimes like that. So just saying that just internships do help. I don't do pay internships. I do like a part-time internship where you get training from me and you get training from other people. I just randomly grab people from LinkedIn that I know that's going to give you reliable information, and they actually train them for free. And then after a few weeks of training, then I throw you out there. We throw you out there with your resume, and then we see what happens. And the majority of them get jobs. and it's not paid at all. It's not paid at all. And they all get jobs. So I have anything bad to say about internships. So
that's wonderful, man. That is absolutely fantastic that you're able to do that, Kev IT support. See, that's it, guys. And I gotta work with you on that too, Kev IT support, because I want to do something like that later on within the Black Heights, to do things like that, to give people an opportunity to do unpaid internships or paid internships, however we decide to do it, to give people that experience so that they can get the skills they need to go into the workforce, right? That is absolutely fantastic. You're going to say something to PBO. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick, Kev Tech. Do you run it like a class, or can somebody just jump in the middle?
No, so I run a class, and it's a private class. Like no one could see what I'm doing.
That's fine. No, long story short, I was gonna send some people your way, so I was just trying to figure out the best way to do that. Then for me, if I send people your way, I know you're gonna tell me I don't need to do that. I'm gonna put a little money in your pocket, so make sure they get in your class. That's how I roll. I'm from the hood. I grew up in the ghetto, so I got to put a little money in your pocket to make sure they get in there. Okay. So just can you sum it up so that they started like a class and they got to start at the beginning and go through all the Active Directory, Windows 2016 patching? Is that kind of how you run it?
Yeah, so I do it from A to Z at the beginning when we train. First thing I train you on is this is very important for me. I don't know what everyone else thinks here, but the first thing I train my interns is embrace rejection. So what do I mean by that? So basically, when you first start in IT, you're not going to get hired at all because you have no job experience. So you have to be able to take the hits when you go into a job interview and you're applying to all these jobs. No one's going to hire you because you have no job experience. So the first thing I teach you is embrace rejection. So when you learn how to do that, then we can move on to your soft skills. So the second thing I do is I go over your soft skills. A lot of people are good with IT, but they don't know how to interact with a customer, which annoys the living hell out of me. So a lot of people don't know how to talk to people. So you got to know how to talk to people. You have no idea how many people that I have worked with that when they talk to me, I can talk to them perfectly fine. But then when they go talk to a customer, they're like, oh yeah, I went to CMD. I ran IP config, flush DNS, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not how you talk to a customer. So it's just like, don't talk like that. So then I explain that. I do soft skills with them. Then finally, I do technical skills. And then we start going over like the little things like Windows 10, Office 365, then Active Directory. And then after all that is done, then I give you a mock interview test. So I give you real life scenarios based on what I have seen, based on working in the job market for a really long time. I give you all IT support tech questions, and I give you a bunch of VMs that are all messed up just to annoy the living hell out of you. And then I expect you to fix it. And then after that, we fix your resume and then you start applying for jobs.
Wow. So you built out this program. That is fantastic, Kev IT support, man. And guys, so Kevin, if for people who want to get into the IST industry, want to go through the IT support type of go through that path, become a system administrator and so forth, how do they reach out to you?
You could add me on LinkedIn. You could add me on LinkedIn, or you could just email me. I have an email address, so I'll put it in chat. So
awesome. That is fantastic. We're gonna go through the chat some more, and then we'll get to the video eventually if you guys have time. So let me do this
real quick, guys. Real quick. Shout out to Kev Tech. That is your class you gave. I'm old school, and I really enjoyed it. That guy you had was top notch for the Azure cloud. He's throwing cloud knowledge out there too. Don't shortchange yourself, Kev Tech. Don't shortchange yourself, man. That cloud was excellent.
Guys, if you want to get into IT, this is the brother that you need to follow. Go and check him out. Check out his page and so forth. I've talked about Kev IT support all the time on this channel, but he's here. He is here, guys. So I appreciate you even coming on, Kev IT support. So if you got a chance to stick around, continue to stick around and go do these questions. So
I like what you do, man. I respect what you do. I'm just letting you know. I
appreciate you, man.
I respect what you do. I respect Professor Black Ops. And I like Keep It Techie too.
another one of my content creators out here, man. Yeah. So before the being said this, PBO, they still have work study programs, brother.
Shout out to work study. I didn't know if it existed anymore. Shout out to that.
All right, Gabe. We got brother Gabe in the house, man. We got brother Gabe in the house. Another one of our good brothers out here who gives the game and cybersecurity and so forth, man. Internet Canada, LinkedIn and Indeed are two sites that provides endless opportunities. Yes, Fantastic. Diamonds teach. I love that. Let's see anything. Gabe just says sup to you, Kev, IT support man. Tamara West says so true about internships. A lot of top graduate schools require and expect you to complete internships when applying for minutes. Yes, that's true. It's absolutely true. Who else we got? Kev IT support put his email up there, guys. So if you want to contact him to get into tech space, learn a lot. That's the thing. It's a comprehensive program. I didn't know Kev Tech that it was that comprehensive. That is absolutely fantastic. You thought this through, because the most important things that you are, at least discussing were the first ones. How to embrace rejection, because people think that they're going to go through a program and they're going to get a job automatically. If you guys remember, I had Chang Lin on a few weeks ago, and he talked about the process of getting into Google. And one of the things is he applied to Google over 17 times, guys, before he actually was able to get in. So he had to embrace that rejection. I bet Michael is another person, right, who probably has applied to even more companies because he's worked for some of the top companies. But you got to embrace rejection, guys. You got to embrace rejection. So talk about that. Talk about that, Kev IT support. And Michael, you go first. Talk about the embracing rejection piece of it and how you've had to learn how to do that in order for you to get to where you are currently, just even being a senior. Talk about that, sir.
Yeah, so I mentioned that I got my first internship at the NSBE conference, but General Motors was actually the last company I spoke to. I talked to every single company there. That was the only interview I got, and I so happened to get that. So just spending 3-4 hours talking to companies, getting rejected, saying, oh, sorry, we're looking for a junior. We're not looking for a sophomore. That's just a part of the process of you learning exactly what to say, what not to say, and really polishing yourself. And even after I had my first internship, when I went to my school's career fair, I got like 6 or 7 interviews and I didn't get through any of them. So then now I have to look at, okay, when I'm interviewing, what am I saying that's wrong? What do I need to change up? How can I showcase my skills in a better way? So embracing rejection, it's all a part of the process to get to a better you. And so once you're done with that process, man, trust me, it's a lot easier to polish that resume, polish your interviews, and it really helps you get more opportunities. So the way I am now, sometimes people look at my accomplishments. I'm not working at Facebook. People think, you're perfect, but there's a lot of rejections that I have to go through to get to this point. So,
yeah. So Kev Tech, before you get there, brother, we got the man in the house himself. We got the man MTR in the house himself. Look at that. If you guys don't know MTR, you should know him because he's probably one of the largest content creators in our space. A MIS graduate, by the way, and an MBA in the tech space doing his thing. I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you so much, brother, for the super chat, man. And thank you for hanging out with us this morning, man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate. We got brother Gabe that's coming up in the house as well, too. So Kev, IT support, you go ahead and talk about the rejection piece of it. And we're going to let Gabe come in and add to this conversation as well, too, man. Go ahead, Kev, IT support.
Yeah, sure. So I actually, besides YouTube, I don't know if you know, I run a Discord community. So I'm a moderator. I run a Discord community, and I'm a moderator on like 20 different Discords. But that's another story for another day. So basically, we have on my Discord we have a section just to connect with other people on LinkedIn. So we have like a LinkedIn channel, and then you can add your LinkedIn. Everyone connects with you on my Discord. Then also we have another channel for resumes, and we go over your resume. And then we have another channel called Success Stories, right? So that channel is very important to me because that channel is everyone that got a job in IT watching my videos and watching other content creators' videos. And I see like every time in that section of that channel, it says, I've been ghosted for 4 months. I've been ghosted for 5 months. I've been ghosted for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. But I finally got the job, Kevin. And they all CC me like, I finally got the job. No matter how hard I got hit on the floor, I finally got the job. And then a lot of it has to do with, I always tell this to everyone, a lot of it has to do with your resume. So if your resume sucks, no one's going to call you. So you need to have a really good resume. Obviously, if they call you, then you go to the next piece, right? The interview piece. And if you don't get the job, you do the interview, don't get the job, then you got to work on your soft skills. If not, you got to work on your technical skills. So you have to know how to interact and talk to someone in an interview because obviously we're all human, right? So you have to know how to how to convince the other person that is trying to hire you. You have to convince them as to why you're the perfect candidate for them. So it's the power of persuasion. So you have to know how to persuade the other person. If you don't know how to do that, then they're gonna hire you. Because a lot of people that go to job interviews, just to give you and I'm pretty sure you know this. Pretty sure everyone else here knows this. A lot of people that go to job interviews, they give you the same boring, generic Google answer. So it's like, what is DNS, domain name server? IP config, all this technical stuff. They just give you a Google definition. So a lot of hiring managers do not want to hear that. They want you to give them a real life example based on a lab you did. So you have like VMs and virtual labs. You could talk about that. If you have something that you fixed for your mom, your dad, or your grandma, or something you did that is something that is out of the ordinary based on your personal experience, you have to somehow turn that into a conversation with the hiring manager, and the hiring manager's like, okay, this guy is awesome. I remember him because he gave me a different answer compared to these other 600 candidates that I interview. So I tell people you have to know how to tell a story. If you don't know how to do that, the manager's gonna be bored to death and they don't want you. That's the important thing. So that's a lot of reasons why you don't get hired. As I'm just going from A to Z, basically. Yeah. But you have to know how to embrace rejection. If you don't know how to do that, then you're never gonna win in life. That's everything. That's everything. No matter what it is.
I appreciate that, Kev, IT support, man. That's a great. You're absolutely right. You and Houston Phenom, right? So you think about it, right? You guys are living examples of people who we look at from the outside and say you're perfect, right? But you had to face so much rejection in order for you to get here to this point. And this is something that Cadbury just said about me on this channel, guys. Around 4 months ago, maybe I saw Black Heights run a 30-minute stream with 6 viewers. It's that embracing rejection strong, brother. It's true. It's absolutely true. Now we got 22 people in here right now, right? And months from now, it could be 30, right? But it's the point that you keep going, embracing rejection, learn, come back to the table with something better. Brother Gabe, how you doing this morning, my man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you all hear me?
Deep voice.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just waking up not so long ago. Okay, no, I'm just waking up not so long. You know what that is. You're just waking up type of thing. Yeah, we're actually here in Philadelphia, man. We just here enjoying our time in Philadelphia. My wife is doing she's doing like a little certification class, getting ready for her boards for nursing. So that's the reason for the different background and a little different mic setup and everything too. But yeah, man, I'm just enjoying the weather, man. It's kind of decent.
I hear that, man. What do you want to add to this conversation this morning, my man?
So I was hearing a couple of different things, right? So definitely as it concerns internships, but also that of NSBE from my brother Michael up there. Yeah, I was heavily involved in NSBE during undergrad, and that's actually where I got the majority of my internships from. So NSBE, they have multiple conferences, right? And stop me if you said it already, right? And like the fall regional conference, they have leadership conferences, but the biggest one, and I'm sure this is where Michael got his internships were from that national convention, right? And I think that was the place where it's just like literally they're coming and looking for African-American candidates, undergrad, graduate, professional, everybody. They're just looking for you. And you can even apply ahead of time. So that's where I've had success from in getting a lot of my initial internships, whether it was with, who did I intern with? Caterpillar. Down there in Peoria, Illinois. I interned with, who else did I intern with? The Department of Defense. And who else? CompuWare during my undergrad. And then Ford Motor Company. So NSBE was very integral in getting a lot of my undergraduate internships. So yeah, that's just part of my thing. But yeah, I'm just good to just jump in the conversation wherever you have questions with. And yeah, man.
Talk about how you use LinkedIn too, Gabe. We talked about that piece of it as well, and the networking piece. Hit that point too, bro.
LinkedIn during my undergrad, I took a personal branding class, and man, this was probably like 2010 or so, 2011, and pretty much that's when LinkedIn had just started or was when people were just getting very much so familiar with LinkedIn. So they had us create a profile. I thought it was stupid. I'm like, another profile, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, now LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. But it was one of the best decisions I had ever made. And as you see, probably like, because we all follow each other, like we're all connected on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has not only been a place to find jobs, but also in really telling your professional story. So like every time that I've went from one role to another role, I've always put like a post. So recently I had put a post about one organization I was leaving to another organization I was coming to, right? And I mentioned the people that I worked with. I said that, hey, I learned from these leaders. I had great teammates. I literally added the people that I worked with that I'm connected with on LinkedIn. And, you know, it's really much so like, telling that professional story, but also putting pretty much a role, like a roles on top of that previous role. And it kind of gives a little bit of who you are and tells about your story through a professional setting. And then, you know, I finally put, hey, I'm looking forward to contributing and connecting and being an impact in the new organization. And I literally at the old organization, literally like their page, and I added the new organization. And from this, I mean, I'm getting connections from individuals who are managing directors, senior directors, VPs from the new organization, and people that I'm just so I think that one, it helps to tell a very great professional story on LinkedIn, and it also was great for job roles. But I've been using it like forever, man. So yeah, that's been some of my experience for sure.
I love that. Before the Bean says, you need to try again if you get rejected. I was rejected from my previous job 6 times before I got a contract job with them. Absolutely. Embrace rejection. My brother Doug is in the house, man. Great topic. Excellent panel. Listening from the clouds back to this yard work. He's getting the yard work this Saturday morning. That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. We got before the Beans doing some car work. We got Doug doing some yard work, man. And we got brother Gabe who's just waking up on us, man. Yeah, I love it. Saturday morning. Relax, that's why I call it coffee talk, guys, because you're waking up in the morning, you're having a conversation over coffee. So guys, you know what? I was going to share a video, but we're not even going to go to the video. We have. Guys, this is the best brain trust that I can have on a panel at one given time, guys. So I'm sure you all have lots of questions related to cybersecurity, related to management information systems, related to internships, related to getting into support. These are the people that you can ask any question to at this point in time. I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask questions because we have a group of people that are just brilliant on one panel at one point in time, guys. So I want to do that for the people who are in the chat today. Ask any sort of questions that you guys may have that you want any of us on the panel to answer for you. And we'll be here to do that. We got Professor Black Ops with the years of experience. He is the legend, the great, right? And not only that, here's our character, man. He's our character. We got Gabe here, who's a cybersecurity expert, and I think PBO says he'll knock Gabe out with the cybersecurity, man. But we may have a battle here today.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Gabe's next up in line. Like I said, my man Michael, I'm just trying to kick a few doors up. Gabe trying to be the chief information security officer, man. He next in line, man. I waited too long.
And not only that, we got MTR in the house as well, too, guys. So you're talking about a panel. And not only just a panel, you got people in the chat that you can ask any questions to. So I'll give you guys an opportunity to go ahead and ask any questions that you guys may have. And while your guys are thinking of questions or anything like that, we'll just keep chatting it up, man. We'll just chat it up. So Kevin, IT support, man. You know what? Like, talk about one of the things I always talk about is soft skills. And you said one of the things that irks you is how people talk to customers. Talk about some of the things that you've seen of how people talk to customers that irk you. And I just want people to give stories about their experience with soft skills that they have run across. And let's just have a good time and a good chat about it. What are some of the things that you've seen, brother, that just irk you, man?
For me is people that don't know how to have a regular conversation with a customer, because I have worked in so if you guys don't know, I worked IT support. in my previous jobs. I don't do that right now. So I'm currently right now, just everyone's aware, I'm a sysadmin right now. So in my previous jobs, I had worked as IT support for the CEO of the company. In most of my jobs, I worked with C-level folks because I work in a hedge fund environment, and most of them are very they're kind of hard to deal with because they want their stuff to work, and the application doesn't work, they lose money. So time is money. So you have to know how to talk to them. If you don't know how to talk to them, then it becomes a problem. So I had people that I have worked with that they have a customer on the phone for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and they don't know how to fix it, and they still keep the customer on the phone for 30 minutes, 60 minutes. That's one example. I had another example where someone just makes the customer feel completely dumb. We don't do that in IT. So if someone doesn't know about something, they don't work IT. They don't know about IT. So why are you going to make someone feel dumb like that? We don't do that. So another customer that he complained to me directly, because I'm friends with some of these clients. I'm friends with them. Like I'm talking about like we go to the bar and have a beer, right? So they tell me these things. They don't like to tell me about it in the actual job environment, but they tell me, oh, X, Y, and Z. He made me feel stupid. He made me feel dumb. He told me, oh, I'm dumb. How can I do this on this application? Blah, blah, blah. So you got to know how to have empathy for the customer. That's very important. I teach this too, by the way. So you got to know how to have empathy, how to interact with the person, how to have those people skills. If you don't have people skills, then you're not going to be able to talk to a hiring manager, an IT director, because as an IT professional, you are representing the company. You are the face of the company. So if your people skills are terrible, then no one wants to hire you. If you're toxic to an employee or an environment, nobody wants to hire you either. They want a positive employee. They want a positive employee, not someone that's toxic to the environment. Yeah. So I'm just throwing out facts. It's just how it is. I'm being totally honest. So if you have someone like that it's just a nuisance to everyone. It's just a headache to everyone. No manager wants that person in that environment. Another thing is being a team player. You have to have those team player skills, right? You have to know how to deal with other people. You have to know how to interact with people, even if they're not right. At least you gotta respect that person, and even if they're not right, just respect that person. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, respect that person. It's not about fighting each other. It's about helping each other. So you gotta work perfectly fine with a team. You have to know how to interact with other people, and don't be a headache to your manager. Please don't do that. The manager is like, it's crazy. Right. So a lot of it has to do with those people skills. I'm going to go back to people skills because I worked in restaurant for 12 years before I got into IT. So I'm not afraid of people skills. I go in there. I can mess up your computer 100%. I know what to say to stop you from being pissed off at me. I know what to say right away. I can just jump in there and be like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry you're having this issue. I don't want to waste your time. So let me come back to you and look at it on the back end, and then I'll come back to you and fix it for you. Before I even do that, let me replicate that issue on my computer. When I find a fix for it, then I'll come back and fix it for you. Just so I don't waste your time. So you have to know how to talk to customers. You don't know how to do that, it's gonna be a problem. So
that's important, Kev. IT support. Not only that soft skills can translate not just on the IT world, but like you said, in the restaurant industry and so forth. And I swear, like that's the area that I think it's the most important in order for you to climb in your career and just about have success in life in general. You got to have those soft skills. Anybody else wanted to add on to that before we jump into this question? Go ahead.
Yeah, let me jump. Yeah, I was going to jump in. The first thing with MTR in the building. I'm 5'8". I've been rejected a lot in my life. I just want to throw that out there from a high value man. I've been heard no a whole lot of times when you're short and chunky. So I'm good with rejection. But just following what Kev Tech said is the communications at different levels. So that's one thing I learned at DOD is what I tell a manager is not going to be what I tell to a supervisor, not what I'm tell to a program. So I just, as manager, I did this killer presentation for developers. They loved it. And I was getting it ready for management. And when the manager came in, and I kept 70 slides, he looked at me in my face. He said, that's not the 70 slides for management. And like Kev Tech said, I said, oh, no, it's not. Thinking I need to rip some of these slides out, right? So you got to do the right communication for the right level of person you're dealing with. And like you said, on top of that, you don't want to be an asshole. You want to be mean, but you want to, like I said, because managers, especially hedge fund managers, they really want you to do a page presentation. They want to be in and out because they're trying to get that money. Now, developers, they want to be, enamored with, all the little gadgets and, buffer overflows, SQL injection, or whatever we want to do. But you need the right communication for the right level of management.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. I love that, PBO. Thank you for adding that context. Go ahead, Gabe.
I have a quick question. It's kind of it's not necessarily the communication piece, but I'm actually just been surfing LinkedIn as we've been talking. And Michael, I didn't know that we were connected already on there. We actually first connections, and just looking at your it's crazy. But looking at your experience is wild, because you did an internship or a freelance some work with Accenture, and I actually just moved into a role with Accenture as a manager. And I know that you're graduating soon. And one thing that is a part of many organizations, and I'm sure that you know, is that internal referral program. So if you want to one thing I want you to do, and if you want to look at Accenture, look over at roles and reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I will internally refer you to some roles if you're interested in that organization for somewhere that you matriculate to post-graduation. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we really get into the questions and conversation. But LinkedIn is a great place to commit to.
Appreciate that, Gabe. Actually, can you all hear me? Did he
we can hear you.
Gabe's froze.
Yeah, we hear you.
Gabe's on vacation.
Hear me now?
The Philly Wi-Fi, man.
Okay, it is that Philly Wi-Fi. But go ahead, I can hear now.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh no, actually, I connected with Gabe a while ago at my first internship, and I don't know if he remembers, but I had a phone call with him about my interest in cybersecurity. I called him, and we talked for like 30 minutes. So that's how we first connected, actually. So
look at the power of the network in play right here, guys. This is important. This is the power of the network in play right here, guys. You got people on this panel who's only touch base via LinkedIn, and that's it, right? Or we back channeled some way for us to connect. And look, we're all together at one point in time on a Saturday morning, chopping it up, guys. That's the power of the network. But listen to what Gabe said, though. And this is something that Michael talked about earlier too, right? When you send a resume to somebody you're connecting to, you can back channel it, bypassing the automated process that these companies use to filter our resumes, right? And use the referral process to get you an interview into the hiring manager. Gabe just said that he's willing to do that for Michael right now. Absolutely. And Michael's just a graduate for Accenture. That's the power of the network, guys. And you have no idea if Michael takes him up on that. Michael could be coming out of college making, hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the power of the network, guys, that you are able to see live in action right here on a Saturday morning. I just wanted to throw that out there, but it's beautiful to see something like this going on when you have such a powerful network right here in live action. This is how it works, guys. This is exactly how it works. Continue on, guys. We got a question from Before the Billions. It says, now that you guys have experience, do recruiters blow you up your phone looking to hire you? I'll let you take that, Michael. You take a shot at that first, buddy.
Man, so I don't have the experience you guys on the panel have, but I would say as far as like recruiters and hiring me, they're not calling my phone, but they're definitely hitting me up on LinkedIn. So I've gotten a couple LinkedIn emails for like in-mails for like contract positions, things with startups, and I'm a new grad, right? So just having that experience on your LinkedIn, having your profile optimized, making sure your profile looks unique, I think that's what sets people apart. And that's why people hit me up on LinkedIn, but I don't have the experience with personal phone calls and things like that.
Yes.
PBO, I know. Go ahead, Gabe.
You don't have the experience yet. Make that an emphasis.
Yeah, not yet.
PBO, you got something in that one, brother?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Gabe's out there. When you in the industry, you got a lot of experience, because a lot of headhunters get a cut or a percentage of what you make. So I get a ton of them, but I tell them straight up, I'm a high dollar guy, so don't come with me. You need to have a job offer. A lot of people just want to link with me. If you ain't got a job offer with 6 figures on it, I ignore you. And I tell them upfront, I'm busy. So but like I said, I probably got the weakest LinkedIn connection up here, but I probably got one of the most experienced. So you're going to get hit up by recruiters. My thing too is, and I think Gabe can do this, I work with like 5 recruiters religiously. Now, if somebody comes with a job, I work up with like 3 or 4 guys that I trust that help me get jobs, and I know they're connected to some of the biggest companies, and I know they're going to get a piece of it. So, I reach out, like my contract's ending up in June. So now I'm starting to reach out to people and said, okay, my contract's ending. You know what dollar amount I need to make. Unlike Gabe, I'm old. I don't like airplanes. I like to be in my bed. I don't like to go anywhere. I need to be remote. I'm old, man. Unlike my young man there, he need to be traveling to San Fran, Silicon Valley. I'm trying to stay in the Midwest. I don't like a lot of movement. So they know my requirements, and I just try to put it out there.
Got it. Nope. That's see. That's the thing. When you have the experience, you can pick and choose what you have an opportunity to take, right? And you can say no, right? And if it doesn't fit you, you don't need to do it. I love that. So Isaac says this: I decided to possibly go into management information systems. What are the types of math I should be brushing up on before college to take the course? Anybody want to take this one?
Management systems.
Management information systems. This is more of a question towards me, but I'll let anybody else take it.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead. Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, I think one thing that a lot of people that are kind of going to college or starting some bachelor's or even a master's program, I think people need to really look into where they can transfer credits from. Right. So going into maybe some type of to taking some of those basic maths, whether it's, college algebra, college calculus, taking it at a community college at a very reduced amount and seeing if those transfer credits or those credits can transfer to your larger university. So maybe like college math, but looking at those requirements that are on your particular program and for management information systems and seeing if a community college class can transfer over to that university. That'll kind of expedite some of your undergraduate work or your math work there.
I love that, Gabe. That's a great advice right there. Cause I a lot of times I don't talk about, how they can actually do it. I talk about, some of the courses that they're going to take, but in management information systems, right, just about going about any 4-year program, during your first 2 years, you're going to be taking general classes, right? Typically, it's going to be around the algebra, the pre-algebra, and so forth. You may have to take statistics, right? So Isaac, if I was to kind of say what courses that you should be looking into, right? Algebra, like Gabe mentioned, start to look into statistics, right? But here's the thing: when you get to the management information systems curriculum, you're going to have to take accounting. You're going to have to take finance. So start to explore the basic math, and that's it. Algebra is probably like the most math that you're going to have to do in management information systems. And statistics, that's about it. So really just start to focus on the core classes around like accounting and business, because your math is just going to be plus, and addition, subtracting. It's not going to be anything that's really difficult for you. So I would say focus on your basic math, your algebra, statistics, and also start to look into concepts of accounting, cash flow, finance concepts, and things like that. And that should be all the math that you're going to need for management information systems as a major. But Gabe had a good point. If you can transfer college credits like algebra into your program, that's going to set you up as well, and it's going to be cheaper. What are you going to say, PBO?
Yeah, I actually teach at a local college, and Gabe's on it. I tell everybody to come to the local college, take all that BS. No, I shouldn't call it BS. Sociology, psychology, beginning math, do that dirt cheap. And now you can do it remotely. Most of those classes you can do remotely. So you can do it from your house. Well, Gabe's tip, and I promise you, the local college of mine, we like the third of the price of the major universities in our state. So that's definitely way. And I'm just going to be honest, and Gabe can chime in. I took Calculus 3. I have yet to use that in my 35 years of actually programming. I haven't used
Calculus 3? You ain't use multivariable calculus? What you mean? Like, what you
I have not. So the
not in your day-to-day? No?
I have not. So the weird part about that, I'm going to let Gabe chime in on that. And I think you need it at a certain level. But for me, like I said, I never used it. I do have a computer science degree, pure. I created compilers and all that stuff that I've never used. Every time I've done complicated math, like for insurance company or a DOD, I had the business me gave me the formula, right? So when I set up my test, I could test out what I'm doing is correct. So even though I can take the area of a tornado, I have yet to use it. So.
Yeah, and if I could just add on a little bit, I think as an MIS major, the highest level math you'll take is like business calc, which is equivalent to like calculus 1. So I know you asked about courses, but as an MIS major, I wouldn't even focus on courses as much. I would see, can you get a job at an IT help desk? Can you be like work in some type of computer lab? Can you get some type of experience at that community college or college that you can relate to your major, and so that you can get your internship? Because at the end of the day, you're not necessarily going to apply all these courses that you're using. Even for me, I'm probably not going to use any of my electrical engineering courses after I graduate. So
it's the soft skills that you will use.
No?
Go ahead, Gabe. Sorry.
No, I was saying, you're not using circuits, or you're not putting together any breadboards or anything. Like, you're not doing none of that.
Nah, none of that, man.
Y'all not using none of y'all education.
Yeah. Let me add to that though. That's I won't say it's weird, but I always joke to people like Gabe and even Antoine is I work with chemical engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers. I say computer science is much easier than that, man. But a lot of people come for those industries. I work with biologists. I'm like, computer science is much easier than electrical engineering. Like I said, I work with a chemical engineer, but the money was in IT, so they all ended up drifting back to IT.
Yep. No, that's wonderful. We got brother SOBC in the house, man. My brother right there. SOBC says IT support today lacks a great deal of customer service. That's right. It's a lot of it is around the soft skill component of it because people don't have it, and that's what's important. And something that we all said today, right, is I want to make this clear. It's not about the math. It's not about the tech skills. Brother Michael says him learning the leadership, the customer service, how to interview, those are all soft skills. Kev IT support said it. PBO said it. Gabe said it. These are the skills that you're going to use in the real world. It's not about how much calculus you could do or if you can solve this equation. It's really about the soft skills, guys. And that's important. Aston James says, Kev IT support, what would you say about the top 5 soft skills to include in your resume? And what is the best way to highlight them without being too lengthy? Ooh, that's a good question.
Trying to think about that because I seen resumes that are like 100 pages for no reason. And some resumes don't even have customer service on it, and people get jobs. So I'm trying to. I'm gonna ask him to do me a favor. Just send me your resume.
Yeah.
Send me your resume. I'll look at it.
Cool. Oh, I would say this, right? I think you don't necessarily need to have the soft skills listed on there. I just think that you just really need to talk about things within your resume like leadership, right? How you've been able to lead people. You need to talk about, how you've been able to collaborate with other teams, right? All those are the soft skills that are important that people are going to look within your resume, depending on where you are in your career, that they're going to be, trying to understand how you were able to impact the team, how you were able to work with other people. Yes. Teamwork is another one, right? So those are 3 right there, right? Leadership, teamwork, building relationships, and so forth. But, I've seen resumes with soft skills listed on them. But, I think if anything, you just want to have bullet points within your resume that talk about how you've been able to do those top 3 at least within your resume. Go ahead, Gabe. You were saying something?
I was going to completely agree, right? Because I was going to say, I think the major one that you can communicate is that of leadership. So using action words behind those bullet points to describe the things that you did at previous roles. Like, I led a team of individuals to do so and so. Or even like a person who could be innovative, right? Like, I created a solution. I was presented with a problem and I created a solution that had this particular type of result, right? So using action words in front of the things that you've done in previous roles will really help recruiters and hiring managers to understand what was, just like you were saying, Antoine, what was your impact in that environment? Or are you solution-based? Created a solution, learned a new skill, created a solution to have this particular result. So having all those kind of go to what I did, what was the result of me doing something, but leadership on the top. For sure.
Leadership. So Gabe just mentioned this: leadership, teamwork, relationships, creativity. He just brought up as well too, right? As well as let's just throw another one: negotiation. Talk about how you negotiated something, how you were able to manage some sort of conflict. Those are top five right there. I would say they're probably, you want to make sure that those are at least the top three within your resume. That's fantastic, Gabe. Black months. Go ahead, sorry. Nope, I think that was Brother Michael. Go ahead.
Oh. So what I was going to say is that I think, first off, I think the top leadership skills is going to change depending on the role, right? So in that job application, they're going to say if they're looking for somebody that's customer oriented, if they're looking for somebody that's innovative, and then you use that verbiage to, again, don't tell me that you're creative, but show me through what you do, right? So that's kind of what everybody is saying. Don't tell me you're a team worker. Don't tell me you're confident, but show me in the past work that you've done that you have those skills.
That was gold. Like I said, I'm oldest, so my LinkedIn is a little a little sloppy, so I need to tighten it up. But I think Gabe and Antoine will tell you is when you work for big organizations, when people leave and go to those organizations, like Antoine did for you, they tell you jobs are there, then they kind of highlight your work experience to assist you in that. So a lot of times your job skills are going to precede you because Blacks in IT at a certain level, it's not a lot of them. So a lot of people start knowing each other. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm in Indiana. That's super small. That's a small cornfed. So I used to do Oracle and federal compliance. That community is super tiny. So your work's gonna precede you. So if you're sloppy, they gonna know you sloppy. If they lazy, they gonna know you lazy. But if you super good, they gonna know you super good. Right. So
I was gonna add
one more. Go ahead, Gabe.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to add one more piece in there, and I think that I need to get better with this, is that when people give a recommendation, there's a section on LinkedIn for recommendations that people can write for you, right? That can also express a bit of what people's working experience has been with you, and they can communicate some of those soft skills. Like they were integral in doing this, they were doing this and doing that. And I think that that's something that I need to get better with, right? Because I only have one, somebody, but that was from like my first job role in 2012. But I do think that kind of establishes a reputation for what you've had with other colleagues, where they're pretty much putting their neck out there. They're putting their word out there to say, this is a good person that I've worked with. So recommendations, getting them, but also giving them too. So, I think that's another piece of LinkedIn that's important. That can express what your soft skills, what your working relationships have been in previous organizations.
That's great. That's good advice right there too. I got to say this if you guys checked out my LinkedIn, I probably have a good 13 to 15 recommendations and I give them as well too. I typically ask people if I've worked with them and we've had a certain amount of success to just leave me one, or they typically ask me, right? They're going to another company. They'll say, Antoine, can you just leave me a recommendation? It was a great, way to work with you and so forth. And I'll leave them a recommendation. I get one in return. But that's another way that you can guys build your own brand. It's about your own brand personally. And when you have recommendations on LinkedIn, that's basically saying somebody's vouching for your brand, like PBO said, right? These communities are small, right? People know people. They go and see your resume or your LinkedIn and they say, okay, well, Brother Kev IT support supports Antoine. And I know Kev IT support. I know he does a good job. If he supports Antoine, then I'm going to give Antoine a shot, right? That's the sort of things that, having a recommendation on your LinkedIn could actually do for people. Black Mon Outdoor said this: what would be some tips for moving into management level positions after help desk? Ooh, good question. I'll let who wants to take that one?
Whoever. I'll go after somebody else.
I was gonna say, for me, I actually got the opportunity to get a management role, and I ended up not getting it. I ended up working as a sysadmin. And they had like an IT help desk role for management, and I didn't take it. But the thing is that it's because I had a reputation on LinkedIn, because I'm pretty big on LinkedIn, and Professor Black Ops knows I'm pretty big on LinkedIn. So it's people go and look for me, and they actually want me, and most of them want me as managers. And I guess you guys are aware too, I have no degree. I never went to college, just so you guys know. So I have no degree or any of that. And from my understanding from other people that has worked in management, some of them have the ITIL certification. So if you know anything about incidents, requests, change management, SLA agreements. If you know how to do all that, and if you got the certification for that, then that's something that they look for in help desk and IT management. That's like the first thing I look at. And if you're trying to get into management, the other thing I look at is typically what I do is just to get a feel for what I need to have on my skills of IT. Typically, if it's a sysadmin role or a help desk role or a management role or any role, just any role in general, I go on Indeed or Dice or any of these websites. I type the role that I want to get, and I look at the job description of it and figure out what I need to know in order to get this role. So I go online, I look at the role, okay, so I need to know Active Directory, I need to know Office 365, I need to know this and that and that. Okay, so if I'm going to get into management, I need to know all these things. But from my understanding, typically is ITIL certification, some sort of management certification. You need to know how to have that or get that. If that makes sense. And then also, some of the companies require you to have A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, Microsoft certifications, AWS certifications. Really depends on the company. From my experience, some people could get into management after being in help desk for 5 years, 4 years. I'm just going based on my experience, so that's all I'm going to say. So,
Okay, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I also, combined with what KevTech was saying, I also look at people who are actually managers within LinkedIn and other roles. I look at what their pathway has been, and kind of some things that align with what I'm doing and that also align with what they're doing. Another thing that I do is that I apply for the roles, right? That's one thing that I did, right? I kept applying and I kept applying and I kept applying, and I just didn't stop applying for the manager roles. Sometimes if you are not, and this is an experience that I had, is that my previous organization, they didn't have the financial appetite to promote me to a higher position at the time. And I understood that, right? So one thing that I did is that the way that I understood it is that I had a conversation with my people lead, the person who was managing me. I pretty much made it very clear to say, hey, I have aspirations to be promoted. What do I need to do with this? And from that started a conversation where it went over maybe 2 or 3 months, where it pretty much got to the point where they were just pretty much saying like, hey, it's just not there right now, that maybe next year, maybe 2022, 2023. So I'm like, so then I had to make a decision to say, hey, do I want to wait that long to be promoted to a position that I know that I'm qualified for now? At the time, I'm like, no, I'm not ready. So sometimes in order to get to a manager role, you have to promote yourself by leaving that organization, right? You have to promote yourself by leaving. So apply for the roles, have conversations with your current manager, look for the skill sets that managers have from people who are managers on LinkedIn and other social media sites, or people that you know personally, and pretty much just put the work in order to get to that position. And make it very clear also to recruiters that, hey, this is the type of role I'm looking for. I see you recruiting for engineering roles. Are you recruiting for manager roles? Are you recruiting for supervisor roles or higher? So those are just some of the pathways that I went in order to go from an individual contributor to a manager role just recently.
I love that. I love that. And I'm gonna add on to that as well. So KevTech mentioned ITIL, right? So ITIL is basically information technology infrastructure library, which is basically a set of practices that IT folks have to live by based on service management, asset management, and it really is just focused on aligning IT services to the needs of the business, right? So that's what ITIL stands for. But I love what Gabe said, right? And here's the piece of it that I would add in addition to what Gabe and Kev IT support said is this: if you want to move into a management level positions, you have to manage yourself as a manager. What I mean by that is, what are managers responsible for? Managers are responsible for getting results and making sure that they're able to retain people. So you really have to be good at your results and be results oriented, right? And you also have to be really good at the soft skills piece of it, of managing people or just knowing people within the organization that you want to be a manager for. And if you're able to do that, you're going to be able to be promoted to management relatively fast. Make sure that you're results oriented, right? And not only that, I would say become a manager before you are a manager. And that's the whole point of managing yourself. And if you are let's just say this. I remember when I was a software engineer, right? And I wanted to get to a manager role. I was a master software engineer. And one of the things that I did was really work with my project manager at the time on some of the things that he needed from the entire team. And part of that was making sure that the project plan execution was done every single Monday so that we can show where we were. I took on that responsibility. So I started that management work and started to look at results of the overall team and started to track that and was able to report on that and was able to speak on that. And whenever there was an issue with one of the engineers, I was able to speak to them about it. So manage yourself, manage the results, as well as manage understand the people in the organization, because that's all management is about. It's really about getting results and making sure that you know your people. And in order for you to know your people, you have to really talk to them. And that's the whole soft skills part of it, guys. So I would add on, that's what I would add on to that. We got Aaron B says, I've been applying for IT jobs since the age of 16, and I graduated from college, uni, just 2 years ago, and my applications keep getting rejected for even graduate internships without getting interviews. We don't know your specific situation, Aaron, but I would say this, you got some people here that you can certainly reach out to, whether it's me on the Black Heights channel, or whether it's Kev IT support, whether it's PBO, or whether it's, Michael. We've all had success in getting jobs, or whether it's Gabe, right? So you got people that you can reach out to that can help you out here. This would be a good one. Reach out to one of us. What do you do then? Okay. MTR says the brain trust is real. I had to take my resume off Dice because these recruiters were filling up my voicemail, and that means you're before the billions, man. That means you have those skills.
Take the phone number off. Tell them take the phone number off.
Yes, take the phone number off for sure, because they're going to be pinging you. Blackman says the goal is to be IT director one day. That's a great goal to be. That's a great goal. You got to get to management. That's the thing. You have to get to management, and you have to really be about the results in people. If you're not going to succeed in management, if you don't do the basic concepts of knowing how to get to results, and in order for you really to get results, guys, you gotta be good to people, man, and making sure that you retain your people at that as well too, and developing them.
Can I chime in on that? Chime in on that? Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, sir.
I was a supervisor for a couple of years, and I became a manager. I hated it for a while, so I actually took different jobs, like compliance director, where people don't report to me and I handle the appliances. To be management, you got to have a certain temperament. Like you said, with people is the first time I had to fire somebody in my 20s, I almost cried, man. I ain't gonna even lie. My boss came to me, she said, you the supervisor, you got to fire. I'm like, well, I think we can work with her. She's doing okay. He goes, well, you got to do your work and her work. I was like, I ain't got that much time, right? So you got to understand, like you said, what you get into training. Like Gabe said, if you do the proper steps, but a lot of times if you think you're just gonna go on a manager, handle a budget, people, the HR perspective, that's a lot of issues. So you just got to make sure you train and you're ready for. Or two is, if you're not ready for, you can reach out to people for help, but just understand what you're getting into. Like I said, the first time I had to fire, but now I fire people left and right. I won't blink it, but the first one, man, that hurt my soul. But I fired Gary by the drop of a hat, man. I wouldn't even take it personally.
What? You're gonna do that to me? All right. I see where we at. And be a good communicator, man. Like being able to take ideas and communicate them to a wide audience of individuals, right? Just being able to communicate with people and be a person. Sorry, go ahead, Antoine. You was talking.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. I say this, man. Management is not for everyone, right? You see, bro, Kev Tech said, he gets, opportunities to do management all the time. He chose the individual contributor route. Management is not for everyone. I have a passion for developing others, right? So I choose to go up and climb that ladder, but it's not for everyone. It is difficult. The first time I had to fire somebody, it was difficult. I had to call them while they were on vacation to do it, right? And that's tough, right? And at the end of the day, as you do it, it becomes easier, but it's not easy because you're impacting somebody's livelihood. Right. And this person was on vacation and he did a vacation. He took a vacation and, thought that he was going to be employed for the next couple years. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And I had to make that ultimate decision. But it's difficult, but you'll learn. At the end of the day, it's about business and you don't want to take it personal at all. So management isn't for everyone. I'll tell you that right now. But 227, we're going to go through these questions, and then we gotta jump off. We already been on the screen for 2 hours already, guys, and I didn't even get to the video that I wanted to get to. But it's all good though.
And next time.
Exactly. Can freelance projects substitute as internships? Absolutely. Anybody want to take that one?
Yeah. I'll go. Go ahead.
Like Gabe was talking about, I did actually like sort of a freelance project with Accenture. So it was an innovation challenge that I participated in. And so I had to do like an actual consulting project for a nonprofit organization. And I have it on my LinkedIn, just like I have my internship.
Yep.
And it's just about how you sell it, right? It's a project that you did, it adds value, and it shows that you demonstrated your skills. So I'd say include it. And I'd say even include projects from school and things like that. But freelance projects are definitely a good substitute as well.
Love that.
I was
go
gonna.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that my friend got a job. He was working for a company that's called Barrister. It's a company called Barrister, and it's actually for freelancing. So you can actually, Barrister allows you to deal with hardware issues, fixing printers, fixing computers. He also went into from Barrister. He also went into Upwork and a few other websites. And then after he did that, he added that to his resume, and he got a full-time job after that. So projects definitely do work. Just saying.
Awesome.
Yep.
PBO, you're going to say something, sir?
Yeah, just dovetailing what Kev Tech said. That's what I was going to do. Is I just bid on some stuff on Upworks, and I got some young people. If I win some, even if I don't, we're going to do some of those freelance projects on Upworks, and they can use that for their internships. Just going to do basic GRC and NIST 853 policies, procedures, a little DR documentation, a little FedRAMP documentation. All that's paperwork on the management side. But I think that's a good way for people to get in, especially large organizations like Central. I'm sure they're always doing the federal compliance type gigs, those type of gigs, and a ton of that's paperwork. So, like I said, I'm trying to get a couple internships. I'm trying to be like Kev Tech, but I'm kind of old. Give me a little internship going and have people do real world stuff. Shout out to Kev Tech.
If you need my help, man, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Now, this brother's on LinkedIn. He was sending people to me on LinkedIn, but he my man. Though I was like, if Kev Tech sent you, I'm gonna help you, but I don't like strangers reaching out to me on LinkedIn. I don't roll like that. But Kev Tech sent you, I got you. But just don't be. I'm not that type of brother. You gonna have to clear. You got to get cleared. But Kev Tech sent them. I got them.
You know, I say this. That's the whole power of the network again, man. And you got to vouch for people, right? Kev Tech send somebody my way. I'm a help. I'm a help. That's it. Good. You know he's going to bet him. Engineering Candace said to bypass recruiters, look up top skill in your field and work on those skills and list them on your resume. For instance, data analyst, look up Hadoop, Apache, Spark, etc. Absolutely. Good point here. Let me just go there here. Let's Aaron B. And before the beans. Okay. Statistics, Leonard. Okay. Let's get into some more questions before we cut on out here. I'm just going to go through here. If you guys see any questions on here that I may be missing too, make sure that you guys let me know because I could be going fast. I have a friend that's interested in tech, specifically MIS and cybersecurity. Mr. BH and PBO, do you recommend them doing a boot camp or going back to school? Well, it really depends. I want to understand their situation, Mrs. Tamara. But what I would say is if they already have a degree, then go ahead and do the boot camp. If they don't have a degree, it is fine. It is fine. We got Kev IT support that don't have a degree, but he has a lot of certifications and so forth. But the thing is that one of the things I say this all the time is if you don't have a degree, you can definitely get in and you can climb the ladder, but I think it's going to be difficult for you to move on past the entry-level management without a degree. That's in the corporations that I work for. You want to have a degree if you want to move on outside of individual contributor roles to climb. So it really is specifically, I want to understand the details behind this, Tamara, way before I give a recommendation here. Gabe, Thomas is in the house as well too. Gabe, I see you on LinkedIn. You are very active. Seeing it's is beneficial for me to understanding how to move. Yes, that's true. Thomas, sure. Just about everybody on here on this panel is pretty active in LinkedIn. I see Michael stuff all the time, Kev IT support stuff, Gabe stuff, PBO stuff, and yeah, we're all active on LinkedIn, man. It's important. 227, my brother was head an organization at Nesby. Yeah, okay. You don't believe how many times I get rejected. Rejection is crazy, man. I did the same thing. Okay. All right. I don't see any more questions. Am I missing anything? Have you been networking there? I think people are just doing the majority of chats internally to themselves. Guys, I think we have answered the majority of the questions. We're going to have a round 2 of this, guys, because I want to share a video and we're going to be laughing at this video because there's so many people, right? There's so many people who we give the game to, but they don't follow those instructions. We give the game, but they don't follow the instructions, man. And when you don't follow the instructions, you know what ends up happening is sometimes you just end up in a bad position, right? You don't end up with a job, right? And we want to make sure that we prevent that from happening. And give people the best opportunities to have the success and get advancements in their careers. And you already hear, brother Kev Tech talk about how he's doing internships for people and how he's helping people out. I'm going to pick his brain on how to do the same thing. PBO is going to do the exact same thing. We got Gabe, who's at Accenture, and he's, leveraging his management position to be able to backdoor people into places like Accenture with people like Michael. You got Michael who has gone through many internships and can talk to you guys about how to apply. And one of the biggest things that he talked about was Nesby and how the soft skills element was a huge piece to him getting multiple internships. So I think there was a lot that you guys could have taken from this conversation today. Hope you guys did. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. It was fun like always. Make sure there's nothing else, Thomas. Oh, that's not another question. I think it was a successful chat this morning, a coffee talk, guys. I went through 2 cups of coffee. Now I got to go do some wife duties, man. Some wife duties. Before we wrap up, guys, what you guys got going on for the rest of the day? What you got going on for PBO? I know you're not married, but what you got going on? You going to be watching some MTR, getting some game, spitting? Going out there, what you doing, brother?
I'm too old for that. That's Michael's game, man. I'm leaving that game alone. I know where I'm at on the ladder in life in that area. I'm perfectly fine. I'm just gonna relax today. I'll probably lab a little bit, do a little Linux. I've been working on my AWS cloud certification. I think that's the next big bag. So I just been kind of working on those skills. I'm a professor in real life, so I got to flunk a few students this morning. I looked at a few items. They wasn't hard like my man Michael, so I'm gonna have to snatch them in order to get them in the right path. I enjoyed these panels. If anybody in the chat are definitely on this panel, if y'all need me, reach out. Like I said, Kev Tech send some people my way. I got them. Kev Tech be super busy on LinkedIn. That's all I got. I always enjoy these. Shout out to my man Gabe. He's climbing the ladder the right way. I just kind of went around the side door. So that's all I got. If anybody need me, just reach out. I got your back.
We appreciate you, PBO. What you got, Gabe? What you got going on for the rest of the day, man?
Man, I'm gonna explore Philly a little bit. I might go over to the the place where is in the Rocky movies where he was going up and down the stairs by the Capitol. I'll probably go over there in that little area, find some food or something, and wait for the wife to get out of her certification class and just kind of have a good time. So we found a couple of spots we want to go to later. So yeah, man, I'm just enjoying my weekend. Kind of a little bit of a vacation here a little bit. So yeah, man, that's about it for me. But yeah, enjoy
that, brother. Enjoy that. What about you, Michael? What you got going on for the rest of the day, man? You gonna be studying? What are you gonna be doing, man? Lapping it up like PBO?
A little bit of both, man. I gotta head deep into this homework, finish my homework and stuff. But there's a football game today, so I might go to the UH football game and just chill with some friends. So
do that, man. Enjoy your life, man. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Study and enjoy your life, man. I promise you, 53 went by super quick, man. They went by. Enjoy your life, man.
What you got going on for the rest of the day, Kev Tech, man? You teaching people the intern game? What are you doing, brother? What you doing?
So I'm working on. I'm gonna do some. So I'm gonna watch UFC today. First of all, I want to watch UFC. I'm into UFC and boxing, so I'm gonna watch UFC and boxing. Then after that, I'll probably do some training with my interns. So I do training on the weekends with them. One thing I want to say, I know this is extremely random, but for everyone that's watching today, is get uncomfortable to be comfortable. So that's how it is in IT. You got to get out of your comfort zone, otherwise you're never gonna learn in IT. Just one thing I want to throw in there. And the second thing I want to throw is that I love seeing everyone here in the IT panel, speaking with everyone from different, because we have just saying we have like a cultural thing, right? Like you don't see a lot of colored people and Hispanic people. You don't see that in IT. We need more of that. So I wish we had more of that. And I wish we had more of that. I just wanted to say that. That's all for today.
It's beautiful, man. And we appreciate Kev IT support, man, for all that you do. And that's the thing, guys, right? I mean, like, you know, it's about the network. It's about embracing change. That was a huge piece of it, Kev, man. And I'm glad that you brought that, man, because we're all uncomfortable almost every single day, right? We all put ourselves in positions where we have to grow, and being uncomfortable is about growth, man. And I love that you said that. I'm going to hang out with the wife and the family for the rest of the day. It's already been 2 hours, man. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I'm going to catch some MTR videos, man. I got to catch up on that. He did one good one last night. We actually was doing the storytelling. Brother, that was a great video talking about the health of, how important health is and so forth, and how it just puts things in perspective. So go and check out Brother MTR. I am so glad you actually came and check out the channel. I'm going to be in his private Discord on Monday. So I'll be able to share some of my background with some of his audience as well, too. But guys, I appreciate you guys rocking with me on this Saturday morning for this coffee talk. And we will have another one on next Saturday. And also I'll plan a couple more live streams for this upcoming week. But guys, I appreciate you guys coming on the panel today. Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge. And thank you so much for all the support, man. You guys are awesome, man. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Peace out.
All right, see everybody later.
Take care,
Bye, guys.
Peace.